going on today, YouTube? MrJGilbert here, and on the 10th episode of the Streamer Shoutout Showcase, we have Nuke55554, and he is rocking over 200 followers on Twitch. And man, this guy is such a positive influence in the community, and just a positive influence all around. And he hops in with all the kinds of games you're playing: Pokemon, New World, Apex, just to name a few. And without further ado, let's find out a little bit more about Nuke.
Yeah, I've just got to go for a quick claw. We got the fucking quick claw! Oh my god! Oh my god! The run is saved by fucking quick claw. For the love of God, would somebody please clip that?
But after, 90 ho-ohs, right? All of the things. A dock raid. Several things of shiny luck redeemed. All of the good stuff. Holy shit! Yes! Yes!
What's going on, Nuke? How we doing today, man?
What's going on?
Oh man, how's things going?
Things are going pretty good.
Good. And I had some big news too. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later, but for you anyway, you know what I'm saying, going on with you.
Big news.
Oh, hey. But first, I want to get everybody started off with just how we do things around here. Tonight, I'll be interviewing Nuke, and I have about 5 questions segment that I will be kind of going over with him, just to kind of get you to know him a little bit better. At the end, you, chat, get to ask him anything you want. In the channel point redemption, go ahead and highlight your message, so that way I get to see, your message, and you can ask Nuke anything you want. All right. Before we get started, Nuke, I want to give you the floor and just a chance to introduce yourself to everybody.
Awesome. Well, guys, again, my name's Nuke55554. Schmitty, I saw you miss a 5 earlier, by the way. I'm primarily, I started off as a Pokemon streamer, kind of switched into variety, so I do Apex, New World, Pokemon stuff. I'll toss some random games in there here and there. Whenever the new Borderlands game comes out in like a week, I'm going to be grinding that because I love the Borderlands franchise. I'm about to graduate from college here in like 2 months. So I go to Texas A&M University, which for anybody that doesn't know is college down here in South Texas. Born and raised in South Texas, but yeah, getting ready for that graduation and have to start adulting. All these other streamer guys keep telling me that adulting, I shouldn't do it, but I think I'm going to be forced to.
When I say big news, there it was. Just right off the bat, let you know it's about to graduate from Texas A&M. Hey, so congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, and then the other side of that big news is when I'm graduating, I'm actually going to be moving from here up to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which is very close to Schmitty. It's like 2 hours away from Mr. J. I think it's like 2 hours away from Crit as well. So I'm going to be next to all of these guys, which is going to be freaking awesome.
Join the dark side. But all right, so my segment, got about 5 questions for you, just kind of lead off our interview here. And my first one, I always kind of start off with this question: why did you want to become a streamer?
Yeah, so the reason that I became, me and streaming is kind of an interesting story. It involves Doc a good bit as well. So I started streaming first, and it was right when, it was like Sword and Shield came out, and I had a friend that was selling her Switch, So I bought the Switch and got Sword and Shield, and that got me back into Pokemon because I was watching a lot of A Drive do like the Sword and Shield stuff, and then I was like, I bet I could like try that. So I did a monotype grass Nuzlocke that was atrocious. It was horrible. Like I hope those VODs don't exist anymore because it's just terrible quality. But um, and I was using like Twitch Studio Beta to do the streaming. It was horrible. And then I stopped streaming for a while, but I got Doc interested in Twitch. Showed her how to do all of that, and then she got really into like Twitch and streaming, met like a lot of the people in the community, so then I got back into streaming, and then I started getting better at it once I got my new PC and everything. But so it's kind of like some back and forth. If I started doing it, she got better at it than I did, and now here we are.
Nice, nice. My next one then, it kind of leads kind of the next part of why you became a streamer, but it's the second question too. What are your goals that you may have for your channel?
So with my channel, I'm just kind of cruising with it. Like, I obviously would love to get it like as big to where I have like 20, 30 people like consistently watching. That'd be like awesome. But I also don't want it to get like so big that I don't know the people that are in my chat to where it's like I have like just like too many people. Like I love the vibe that we have, like where we jump in and some of us will have like 20, 30 people, but we all like know who's in our chat, and like we're just all having good conversation, chilling out with each other. Because as cool as the idea of being a full-time streamer sounds like, I really don't think that that's something I would ever really want to do. Because one, I'm graduating from college. I want to use the degree I just spent 4 years getting. But yeah, no, this is definitely just something that's been a lot of fun, and I just want to, as long as it's still fun, we're doing a good job.
So, did you happen to see that most recent post there?
Yo, I saw it. I saw it.
Savvy's like, a correction. He got annoyed with me watching over his shoulder.
Yeah, I know. I literally, and she just said it. Like, she kept stealing my Switch because she wanted to play all of my games. So me and her fiance got her a Switch for Christmas so that she could stop stealing my crap. She still has my PS4 right now because because somebody bought her the Kingdom Hearts games and she streams that. So I don't even have my PlayStation because she has it. So yeah, Doc always be stealing my shit.
Sure, sure. So, you kind of mentioned it earlier too about the games that you play. Most recently, it's kind of been a trio of games. Kind of been, Pokemon or Pokemon related games. It's been New World, then a little bit of Apex as well. In your opinion, rate or rank those three games from best to worst.
I'm probably going to put Apex at the top of it.
As in like
Because
best?
best game or one that I like to play the most.
Oh, I guess that's true. Like if you could only play these three games, which was the game you'd play first? You know what I
Okay,
mean?
Pokemon would be first then. Um, because like I can play that by like it has the most variety to it. Like I can play it by myself, I can play it with friends. I can do a lot of different. I can do a lot of different stuff in it. Um, then it'd probably be Apex because I can play that by myself or I can play it with my friends, and still have like a moderate amount of fun. New World, I really for the most part only play it when like my friends are on. So like when y'all are on, I don't grind that a whole lot by myself. I can, like, there's technically nothing stopping me from getting on and playing by myself, but I just have the most fun playing that when
Sure.
I have a bunch of people playing with me. So that's how I kind of rank them, is just like how am I having the most fun?
Sure. So then, okay, so you put Pokemon first.
Hmm.
What are the top three Pokemon then?
Top three, like my favorite.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Your
number one
favorite.
is Torterra. Um, that is my boy. I love him. to death. Favorite Pokemon ever. Number 2 is Dialga. I'm a Gen 4 sucker. Like I love Gen 4. And then number 3. You see, the problem is I usually don't get past top 2. So if I had to throw a number 3 in there, I'd probably say like Jirachi, just because I used it a lot when I was doing my Renegade Platinum Nuzlocke. And I don't remember if Jirachi is technically Gen 4 or not, but I love Jirachi.
So why isn't Blastoise or Charizard in there? I mean, come on.
Because I'm a grass type trainer and love me my grass types.
I really don't know any Pokemon. Like those are the only two that I'm like, hey, those are the best. Those are the best 2 Pokemon ever. To me, like I still think Charizard is a dragon, and then like Blastoise has those big cannons. So I'm like, easy.
I mean, in later gens, they did, or not in later gens. Well, I mean, Mega Evolution, I think it is a dragon in one of its megas, and like all the fan made games make it a dragon, like Dragon Fire. But yeah, oh yeah, no, Venusaur definitely voice, yeah.
So you said you can't get past 2 for like the Pokemon, like
Well, I
Pokemon.
just usually don't think about it.
Well, what about the top 2 Pokemon games then?
Top 2 Pokemon games. Number 1 for me would be. I'll actually say Platinum, just because it like has everything from Diamond and Pearl, but more stuff. So I'll say Platinum is number 1. Even though I'm like a diamond sucker because of Dialga. But Platinum would probably be number 1. Number 2 in terms of Pokemon games, I actually really liked some of the old Pokemon Ranger games for the DS. I think one of them was called Shadows of Almia, was one of them. I loved those games on the DS. They were a lot of fun. So I'd say like Shadows of Almia is in there for me. I don't remember if I was just saying top 2 or top 3.
Top 2 is fine.
Okay, top 2. There we go.
Last question, then we'll move on. So I got 2 more for you. Apex, another game that you played.
Mm-hmm.
What, in your opinion, what's the best squad makeup for Apex?
Best squad makeup. Valk in there. Then either Crypto or Bloodhound, just because I'm biased towards Crypto. And then probably Gibraltar as your third.
A good thing you said Bloodhound. That's my boy right there. My dude. But all right. So my next question, you kind of already talked a little bit about it, but kind of Nuke IRL, Nuke in real life, man. You got a lot going on for you. You know what I'm saying? You're about to graduate, a year in the military, you're about to move.
Not in the military.
Well, what is it not?
No.
Okay, yeah. So I assume that was part of military. That's why it's like, hey, I'm glad I'm asking this, because now I'm partially confused. But what else kind of is about you IRL?
Okay, so first I'll clear up the okay, so I'm not in the military. So Texas A&M is one of the 6 senior military institutes in the United States, which all that means is it has a Corps of Cadets in it as an option for students. Now, I think some of the senior military institutes are still just a Corps of Cadets, kind of like the senior, like the Air Force Academy or stuff like that. But A&M was originally founded as an all-male military university back in like 1873, I think. But now it's a normal university. So when you come to A&M, you can choose to be in the Corps of Cadets, where you live like a militaristic lifestyle. But it's like 60% of us are not joining the military, 40% are. I think that's the rough split. And now I was originally planning on joining the military. I had a Air Force contract to commission when I graduated, but medical stuff said no, that I can't join the military. So that's why we're getting a good 4-year degree in doing that. So that's the whole, and I could literally sit here for God knows how long explaining the nuances of what the Corps is,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like a rough-ish outline. But yeah, I'm about to graduate, doing all of that. I do triathlons is another IRL thing. I'm actually doing one this Sunday, and then 2 weeks from that, I'm doing my second half Ironman race, which, for anybody that knows anything about Ironman races, a half is 70.3 miles in total. So it's a 1.2 mile swim, a 56-mile bike, and then a half marathon. So makes up the whole thing. So I've already done that one once. I did it last year in Galveston, Texas. I'm doing it again in Galveston this year. I'm trying to take about an hour and a half off of my time. So last year I did it in just under 7 hours. This year I'm trying to do it in about 5.5.
I'm exhausted just listening to you explain it. Woo! Triathlons? Dude, not, Maybe the bike, I'll do like a third of it. I'll do like the biking portion, but like, geez, you're a beast.
Yeah, the bike
that,
is the longest part. No, that's the reason that I'm gonna be faster this year, is because when I did it last year, I was kind of riding just like this $200 piece of crap that I bought on Amazon.
Right.
But this year I actually went and invested on a good bike. My bike is actually sitting above my head right now because, like, as you can tell, my room is not very big. So I just have like two 10x4s going across the shelves in my room, and my bike sits on top of it because I share this room with another human being. Like, my bed is over here, and then this is my roommate's bed behind me.
Right. So did you tell him to get out for the
No,
interview
it's spring
purposes?
break. Like, nobody's here.
Oh, right. True. All right. My last question that I have for you, and then we'll get to the chat questions. Now, again, chat, we had a couple come in already, but be sure to highlight, do the channel point redemption, highlight your message, ask Nuke anything you want, and when I say anything, ask him anything you guys. Get the questions coming. All right, highlight your message. I'll be able to get them to him in just a second. I got one more question for him, and then it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys to ask Nuke anything you want and get to know him a little bit better. So I always like to finish my little segment off with just a random off the wall question. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of see what random off the wall answer you give me. You know what I mean? My final question for you is, if you were to create a just goofy secret conspiracy, what would that conspiracy be?
Gosh, okay. Like, I tried to think about this before I came in, and I was just like, nothing was coming to my mind. Like, what was like a goofy conspiracy I would make? I would probably just like make up something that is like really, really smallly obscure about everyday life, but that like nobody would really believe, but that they would just like constantly be sitting there just like tweaking at their brain, like just like something like water isn't actually wet, and just just, but that everybody was like just subconsciously in total belief of, that it just bothered them ever so slightly every time they like drank water.
I said a conspiracy, not torture. Jeez, bud. But no, that would be a good one. That's just kind of like just gets everybody thinking constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, that would be a rough one. Before we move on to chat questions, do you want to take a moment to kind of explain what the Nuke55554 kind of where it came from?
Well, so the nuke part came from like, if I remember correctly, it was just whenever I finally got like a PlayStation and had my first like console, I was picking my profile pic and it had a little nuke symbol, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna pick that one as like one of the standard ones. And then I was like, okay, so nuke, and I tried to like just do that, I think, but obviously, that was already taken by something. So I was like, okay, well, we need to do some numbers or something. So I was just like, I don't remember exactly why I did like the fives, but I just did the fives, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do 4 5s, but then I'm gonna put a 4 at the end so that you know how many fives there are. So whenever people are like, wait, how many fives is that? I'm like, you just remember by the 4 at the end. How many times do I have to say it? So that was just where that came from. Was I was just like kind of like fucking around with it,
So
and
your name is also a brain teaser. Got it.
a little bit.
All right. Are you ready for chat questions?
I am ready for chat questions.
All right, here we go. Chat again. Do the channel port redemption. Highlight your message so I do not miss it. Let's get going. Let's ask Nuke anything that you want. First question comes from Dyslexic Octopi saying, "What is the thing that draws you to Pokemon the most?"
Well, obviously part of it's nostalgia just from playing it when I was a kid. But then, as I kind of got into Nuzlocke, it was really just the challenge aspect of it that made me think a lot more and have to like look at the numbers. And then I've never actually really competed in competitive, but I understand almost all of it. Like, I can do the damage calculations up until where it affects defense versus attack. So I can take like if you're doing a stab attack where item bonuses come in, and then just do the math all the way up into what the final power would be. So if you do a stab attack with solar power under the sun, um, again with super effective, so get it up to like 390 if you're with some random attack. But I don't know where the damage calculation goes after it hits the defense. So if I ever understood that math, then I could actually be, I'd say, decent at competitive, but then you have to memorize like all of the items and you have to know way too much stuff, so it's like rough calculations, but yeah.
You've already lost me.
I think Jake is.
You started throwing all these things. I'm like, what? Like all that goes into play? Jeez.
Oh, it's like I don't even fully understand it. That was like there is so much math that goes into one Pokemon attacking another and dealing damage, and I'm just like, wow, they really went over the top with this when they were making this children's game back in the day.
Right. Yeah, for real. Next one, Slash says, so what makes you unique? What do you bring into the table that is Nuke, quote unquote Nuke? Give me that deep stuff.
Well, I'm a little bit insane, but that's part of the charm. I'd also try to approach like every day with just enough like positivity that people might think I'm crazy when going through a situation. Like the best example I always give for like my strange positivity is there was an instance when I was a teenager that I was in the hospital, and it was a pretty bad thing that was going on to me, and doctors talking to stuff, and I was just sitting there like talking to my mom, and I'm like, yeah, hey mom, everything's fine, it's gonna be okay, and she's like, I'm supposed to be telling you that. But so we that's kind of me and my positivity. But the things that make me is just like I'm always just what you see is what you get. I don't like put on personas or like do weird stuff. Like I say, I have a theory when it comes to people with alcohol, where like if you drastically change your personality whenever you drink, then you're like a really fake individual. And I don't really change at all when I drink, so maybe I'm just creating a self-fulfilling prophecy there, but um my friends tend to agree with that because most of us don't really change who we are when we drink, and we try not to be too fake.
Voice says, were you high when you made this name?
No, because I had never been, because what I was like, I don't even remember how old I was, but I didn't know drugs were a thing yet.
Jeez, Voice.
So no, I was a child.
So following up with the name, Schmitty says, so can I change my name to Schmitty55554?
You can do whatever makes your heart happy, Schmitty.
There you go. Schmitty. Name change? Question mark. All right. Savvy says, not a question, But, bro, thank you for everything you've done for me for nearly the last 10 years. Y'all, this man has literally carried me at times. He's got the biggest heart ever. Drop a follow and come say hi. You're always welcome in our house. Love you, bro.
Why she got to do that? Why you got to do that on stream?
Just dropped it. Just dropped it like it's hot. Oh, man. So, when it comes to streaming, okay, so question here for you. When it comes to streaming, what's the one thing that kind of keeps you, I guess, going back to other people's channels?
Oh, just the community aspect and like how awesome it is to like go jump into a chat and be like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" and like have you or Crit or Rep or Schmitty or like anybody just like, "Yo, Nuke, what's going on?" and just like be like excited to see it, and not just like me, but like just like whenever everybody jumps in, it's just like being excited to see everybody in chat, and then the same thing. Like I get that whenever y'all get into my chat. I'm just like, yo, it's like so and so. Like, how are you guys doing? Just that, like that aspect that even though like I haven't like physically met y'all, although that's gonna change in a few months. Like I feel like I just know y'all so well because like we're all just super chill with all of it. Like we just have so much fun.
True. Voice says, do you still have the nervous feels before starting a stream? Or are you just pure hype now?
No, to be honest, I was only really kind of nervous for streams the first few times, and it wasn't really more nervous about the streaming itself. It was just like with all the tech crap, like figuring that out, because I'm not a super nervous person. I'm fairly confident in pretty much everything that I do. You can ask Doc for fact check there. But not really. I just get excited to have a good time, play the games, because for me it's more I'm just loading up the game to play it. Like I never have my viewer count up, so I don't know how many people are in my channel until I raid out.
Good.
And obviously sometimes there was way more, sometimes there was way less, just depending on what happened whenever I was raiding out. But for me it's just about playing the games, having a great time.
That's a good thing you mentioned too about the viewer count. I feel like when people kind of first start streaming at the beginning stream, they're so worried about the view count. They're so worried about, oh my God, I'm not growing or I'm not getting all these views. So that kind of weighs on them. And then they start to become not an entertaining streamer because they're kind of frustrated with like their viewer count.
Yeah.
So I think that's good you kind of brought that up. Zombie says, do you like corgis?
I have nothing against corgis. I prefer like slightly bigger dogs, like at least like 30 pounds and up. I mean, I love all dogs. I will my sister slash mom has this little Chihuahua slash Jack Russell, I think. We're not 100% sure it's a rescue. Love that thing to death. It's a cute little dog. But like just I personally have always either had like medium to larger sized dogs. So there we go. This I'm assuming somebody's talking about the pillow. So this was a gift from one of my upperclassmen whenever he graduated. And I'm pretty sure he just stole this from somebody else's room, and then when he was graduating he was just like, I passed this down to you, my son. You must keep it and pass it down to another. I'm probably just going to take it with me because I love the damn thing, because it is a very fun little pillow here. Grab that. So there's the corgi pillow,
and it looks really comfy too.
Yeah, and then it's like got candy cane on the back. I don't know.
Right.
So
yeah, next question, and dyslexic, I don't appreciate this question, but next question is, Mr. J is 3 times your size. How do you carry him so well in New World?
Because I poured all of my points into focus for healing. Literally, I have enough points into my own personal health that I just get the bonus from healing potions. So I have like 50 points into that. And then everything, and I mean everything I am wearing is into focus. I have 263 points into focus. So the idea behind my build is heal myself faster than they can DPS me. And whenever I have like tanks, then I just heal them faster than there is any potential DPS. So yeah, that's how I do that.
Take that. Schmitty says, when you move up here, will you come over to give Chewie and Luke treats in person?
Of course, I will definitely come over to give. Hold on, what were the names? Chewie and what was the other one?
Luke.
Yeah, yes, I will come give Chewie and Luke treats. Of
See,
course.
there it is. Maybe you may even have a dog sitter, Schmitty. This one goes back to, it's not really a question, but I just read it. This one goes back to the question about if you kind of have the feels, when you're firing up a stream. Savvy says he's too flippin' chill. I have no idea how he's not scrambling to set up.
I honestly don't know either. That's been with like everything for a while. Just I don't really stress about stuff, but I feel like me not stressing about things sacrifices like other areas, like my memory, for instance. So I've just I'm terrible with names. That's why I just like don't study as much for exams, because I'm like, I'm gonna forget it. And like, because I will study for days for an exam, and then I'll get there and I'll like open up the paper and I'm just like, fuck. just forgot everything. And it takes me so long to remember like people's names and like stuff like that. That's why streaming's nice, and I was able to remember everybody's names because they're on the freaking screen.
Right.
And that's why it's nice here in the core, because we all walk around wearing name tags.
That is nice. Yeah. Speaking of Savvy, she says, do you want a headgie to go to Iowa?
I don't remember if we already talked about that, but I mean, I said I was not opposed to it because most like apartments and buildings and stuff, you don't need to have like a pet deposit or something to have a hedgehog, because they're like small enough that they're not considered, like, I don't know, they just don't apply to like places or the extra pet deposits and stuff. Because I know I talked to the guy who had this job. I say this job, just the last management and training guy that was at this place, and he said he had to pay like an extra $50 a month on his rent or something, because he had a dog, so he had to pay extra for his dog. But it was a big dog as well. But either way, so the hedgehog's a little tiny thing. They don't damage stuff.
You made Schmitty mad with forgetting
I know,
the dog.
that's why I sat there and explained that I have terrible memory. That's why I explained this.
All right, chat. It has come to that point in the night. Rapid fire questions. So if you have any last minute questions for Nuke, get them in now. We'll kind of fire, depending on how many there are. We'll fire through them as fast as possible. While chat is getting in their questions, Nuke, I have one for you. I'm curious about this one. What is your most embarrassing moment on stream?
My most embarrassing moment? Dude, I don't even know if I know that. Like, I don't even know. Like, I honestly cannot think of anything that I was like really embarrassed on stream.
Okay. Well, let's
I
change.
really don't know.
We'll change gears a little bit then. What's your most embarrassing moment in life? If it's too personal, obviously you don't have to share. But like, what in life? What's your most embarrassing moment then?
I would say probably that, because there was a time when I was like, oh god, I was like 7th grade or some crap, and I almost got like kicked out of school because I made, and I won't say what joke I made for certain reasons, but I made a joke that I thought was freaking hilarious, and this was before I understood that other people didn't share my dark humor. So I made a really bad joke. It was in like my health class during like an icebreaker activity, and it just like I straight up got kicked out of school for a day, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, what the hell's going on? And it ended up getting chalked up to this is a kid trying to get attention, put him back in school. But it wasn't really like I was like kind of embarrassed, but I was like more embarrassed to go home and have to like tell my parents what had happened.
Yes. Did you though?
Yeah, oh no, I did, because I had to call my mom to
Oh, right.
like because like I literally got kicked out of school for it because people did not did not like
Nice.
what I said. But yeah.
Nice. Voice says, what's your favorite map on Apex?
I've been playing way too much Olympus just because of ranked right now. So I'm gonna say Olympus just because I also really like all the areas that you can go to with like Fight Night. I don't remember the name of the area, but the one where you can press the button and it constantly drops stuff. And if you get out there, especially if you're like Loba or something, you can just drop and get constantly get items. So I'll say Olympus.
Nice. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for questions today. Before we head out, Nuke, before we head out, I want to give you the chance to kind of send us off with a farewell. You can self-promote, you can say whatever you want. The spotlight is yours, the floor is yours. We're gonna kind of send it out on your goodbye.
Well, yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Mr. J is one of my absolute favorite streamers. Love hanging out on his channel. If you're seeing this on YouTube or you're hanging out watching it right now, you're an absolutely amazing person. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that you show Mr. J, that you show me, that you show everybody in our community. And let's go knock some shit up in New World.
Dang, there it is. Guys, stick around. We're gonna go play some New World after this. So, Nuke, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you doing this. Thank you for taking the time to watch an episode of the Streamer Shoutout video podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can get notified of all future videos and episodes that come out on this channel. Now, if you're interested in joining the Streamer Shoutout, all you have to do is in the description below, you'll see a link to my Discord. Join that and you'll see a Thankful Thursday section. Let me know that you are interested. I'll get you in the rotation. It is simple as that. We'll see you next time, and I appreciate you.